Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I am reviewing a pen from Wordsworth and Black. Now this is one of those companies that has sprung up in the last couple of years who sell their pens on places like Amazon, and they got in touch with me and asked if I'd like to look at their fountain pen, and I said yes, and so here it is to show you today. As far as I can tell, this is from the Primori line. They seem to have two different lines of pen, and I got this one, which is the gunmetal gold version. It's a good looking pen. I'm going to say that straight up. This is an attractive pen. I want to talk about some parts and features and all of that kind of stuff, talk about a couple of thoughts I have, and then, we'll see how we go. So, packaging, very nicely packaged, nice cardboard sleeve. It'll guarantee if you're not happy with the pen that they'll make sure you get some help, all of that kind of thing. It's very simple. And then you open that up and you get the traditional sort of pen box in there. It's got Wordsworth and Black and then their logo sort of embossed on the front there. You open that up and inside you get like warranty information and all that kind of bits and pieces. Pen came in a little pen sleeve in there, and then 24 fountain pen ink cartridges, black and blue. Now it says designed in the UK and assembled in PRC, which is People's Republic of China. So I'm not exactly sure who makes that ink for them. I've decided to use the converter that also came with the pen and use my bottled ink because that's what I like to do. And then we look at the pen here, starting at the top. Once again, that logo, the WB with the quill on the W. They're embossed engraved into the top, or pressed probably. The cap is cylindrical and you get a gold band which has a clip on it, and the clip is quite flexible but definitely usable. There is a gold center band, and then you get the brand name printed, or once again stamped, underneath the band. So it says Wordsworth and Black, and that's it. Coming down onto the barrel of the pen, another gold ring. Cylindrical body continues on, gold ring, and then this sort of posting cap on the end here. Now that isn't a blind cap or a piston knob or anything like that. It is a standard international cartridge converter pen, and it's got this sort of design of what looked like clouds or something embossed into the body of the pen there. It's a striking color combination of this gunmetal and gold. As I said, I think it's a very attractive pen. Simple clip with that cutout through the middle of it. Nothing fancy, but I think it looks great. Now, it is a screw cap pen, and it unscrews in approximately 4.5 turns, which is a lot. Then you get a step down, a relatively sharp step down, then some threads, and then you get this section which tapers and has these little grooves on it, which does actually feel okay under the fingers and stops it getting too slick. Another gold ring, and then this nib, which is a steel nib. And it's a iridium point with a medium and WB embossed, once again stamped on the front of the nib. And there is the plastic feed. Now, I said this was a cartridge converter pen, and it comes with a converter. It takes standard international cartridges, and the converter is like that Chinese standard, almost like that Lamy sort of look to it. But the same as you might get on pens from, say, Jinhao or something like that, which are also made in China. So the pen is made in China, designed in Britain and made in PRC. So that's what you're getting. And it's not a hugely expensive pen, and it's got some nice features and some nice weight. I'll talk a little bit about more about the pros and cons in a little bit, but let's just do a quick size comparison now. So I have it here alongside the Lamy Safari. You see it's a little longer than the Lamy Safari, which is good. It's a good size pen. Uncapped, it comes in shorter. It's got a slightly longer nib than the Lamy 2000. I think it's about a number 5 size nib, I would say, which isn't disproportionate on this pen, but I think it would look great with a number 6 size nib. Then posted, you see that the pen comes in about the same length as the Lamy Safari. It posts very securely onto that posting cap, but it is quite long and back weighted, unfortunately. Okay, let's talk about the specific dimensions of the Wordsworth and Black Primori gunmetal gold fountain pen. I should say this comes in a large range of other finishes. This is the one they sent out, the gunmetal and gold, but there are a large range of other ones. So check out the Amazon shop if this is a pen model you are interested in to see what versions are available at the moment. Size, 142 millimeters when it's capped. After 4.5 screws, 127 uncapped. So it's an okay length and it's a nice weight in the hand at this length. Posted, it's 167. So it's not super, super long, but maybe a touch long, I would say. But definitely back weighted at 167 millimeters there. Around the section is about 10 millimeters and around the cap is about 13. So yeah, it's a decent sized pen. The weight of the pen though, 41 grams. It is a heavy metal pen. It's all metal body. 24 in the body and 17 in the cap. So you are putting a large amount of weight back on the cap here, and a lot of the cap's weight is right up here in the end. So you are putting a lot of the weight on the back there. Okay, let's do a writing sample. Now I am writing with the pen unposted. So we have the Wordsworth and black. So this is I think this is the Primori model in gun. That's terrible. Gun metal gold. Has a steel nib, and this is the medium. The ink in here today is Waterman Serenity Blue. Okay, straight up off the bat, you can see it writes with a very generous medium line. It writes relatively smooth. It writes pretty wet. Like there's no issues there. Reverse writing is possible, if not entirely pleasant. Fast writing. You could see there was a bit of a hard start and a skip just there. But generally speaking, it's not too bad. Like fast writing is not this pen's strength, but it writes very well under normal circumstances. So yes, I think this is a relatively interesting pen at its price point. I think there's a lot going for it, but let's talk about some pros and cons. Okay, I'm going to start by talking about the price of this pen because that ties in with a couple of things. So this pen retails for $40 Australian on Amazon, and mine shipped from Amazon, and I got here very, very quickly. Okay, $40 is not a bad price point for a fountain pen that writes consistently and, you know, is a nice pen and all that kind of stuff. But it is a fountain pen made in China, very clearly of a style that is, you know, made by other brands. It says it's designed in Britain, and I'm sure it is. I'm sure they consulted with the makers and all of that kind of stuff to make a design that they wanted. But it is very reminiscent in so many ways of a number of pens from brands like Jinhao. So that's just something that has to be approached. Now at $40, are you getting a $40 pen? Well, yes, it writes well. And I always talk about price versus value versus worth. What does the pen cost? Well, the price point is $40. What's the pen's value? So, you know, the sum of its parts. Well, it's probably a lot less. I think you can get pens that are very similarly made for around the $10 mark. You don't get the box and all that kind of stuff. It's all very nice. Ink cartridges, all very nice. Don't get me wrong. Lots going for it. What is the worth of this pen? Do I enjoy writing with this pen at a $40 price point? Yes and no. I think there's a lot going for it. There's things that need to be addressed. But it writes very, very well, as we'll come back to in the pros. Cons though, the screw cap, there's a number of issues here. Firstly, 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 4.5 turns is too many. It's just too many turns. There's no need for that. Pens can be very, very secure on 1.5, 2 turns. 4.5 is excessive. Also, the moment it's off that final screw, there's a real slackness to the threads. And my concern with that is because it is metal on metal threads, is that the moment it gets loose, if you lose that slackness, then if it's in your pocket or in a pen case, that could very easily work its way loose. And that for me is always a concern. Another issue I have with the screw cap, it's not necessarily the cap, but the capping, is that at one point I had this pen inked and not used for about a week, and it did dry out. I had to get it going again. So just keep that in mind. Everyday writing, when you're writing with it every day or maybe even every second day, not an issue whatsoever. I don't love the balance of this pen posted. I think it feels a little bit back heavy. Unposted, perfectly fine. Nice in the hand, nice size. The only thing to be aware of is that step down. Now that's not sharp, it's not gonna cut you, but it's definitely a very noticeable step down. And because it is not a huge section, you do find a finger sometimes on that step down, and so it is noticeable. It's not uncomfortable, but it definitely is noticeable. So if it's something you're sensitive to, that may be an issue for you. But let's talk about the pros of this pen. Okay, firstly, I love the fact that it's available on Amazon, which means it's relatively readily available and gets to you quickly. Amazon, with all its faults, has a lot going for it in terms of making things available. I don't mind the price point. $40 is an acceptable price for me to pay for a pen that is made like this. Do I think you're getting anything unique at that price point? Not necessarily, but you are getting a pen that writes well and primarily presents very well. Nice packaging, nice box, beautiful looking pen, great design. Would make a lovely gift if that's the price point you're looking at. So that's just something to keep in mind. I love this gunmetal. I'm a big gunmetal fan. I think it's beautiful, and so big fan of that. I like the size and the weight in my hand. That's beautiful. It's very comfortable writer in that respect. No fatigue, nothing like that. Just a nice solid metal pen. And then also the nib, as I said, in everyday writing, I've had no real issues with this. So in terms of the writing, perfectly nice, wet, generous medium line, no problems there whatsoever. So that's my thoughts on the Wordsworth and Black Primori fountain pen. A big thank you to Wordsworth and Black for sending this pen out for review. I hope you, the viewers, found this video interesting. If this is a pen that interests you, I will link to their website down below so you can check out what they actually have on offer. So yes, please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, all that good stuff. If you've got products you think I should be looking at, or if there's a way you would like to support my channel, I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.